Hey guys, Nathan Rigney here, the Profit Generator, founder and owner of NGR Accounting. If you want to continue to watch our videos, remember to hit that subscribe bell and like our videos to get all our awesome content. Dan is no stranger to business. From a young age, he was surrounded by business, with family members in successful businesses. So it was no surprise that Dan was successful in his own business, an entrepreneur. Dan Abbott is the current owner of iPetStore, where we are today. Originally, iPetStore was set up as an online business only. Now, it is a bricks and mortar style retail business, but also reaping the benefits of an online platform. Dan's business success was not a surprise. Before owning the iPetStore, he also owned another business called Hire One, a hire equipment business. One of the business highlights of owning that business was being voted the most successful hire rental business of the year. Well, Dan, thank you so much for giving us your time today. I really do appreciate it. So let's get straight into my first question. So, pet retailing. Why did you decide to invest your time and effort into pet retailing?
Because a lot of people have pets, and I just wanted to get involved in something that I loved. And I had a dog, and I thought, why don't I get involved in this business? Looks like it'd be a lot of fun and fairly relaxed. So I just thought, yep, let's give it a go. Let's do the due diligence and see what's involved.
So Dan, you created this business 9 years ago, and it was an e-commerce business only. What research did you do before you started that business venture?
Yeah, well, basically, I needed to make sure that the margins were correct and were there to actually make some money on the products. So I went and met with a lot of our sales reps and people like that involved in the industry. I looked at whether it was a growing market as well. I think at the time, like, the pet industry was one of the fastest growing markets in retail in Australia. So that ticked the boxes for me. I had to look at, whether it was still profitable by the time you took into account, marketing on Google, paying for cardboard boxes, your freight and so forth. And I looked into all those costs, and I saw that, this would still be a profitable business. It was, credit cards up front before we shipped the goods as well. I wasn't providing terms to people. So it was ticking boxes. I thought it was going to be a 5-day-a-week business too. Which was something I felt was quite relaxed. And I thought, if you're doing it online, then you can sort of do it maybe from anywhere, as long as you're in a main capital city, which Sydney definitely is. We're halfway between, Melbourne and Brisbane. So it ticked all the boxes for me. And I thought, I'm going to get into this. This is a business that, Monday to Friday, but it's still open 24 hours. People can order any time of the day, so that's why I pursued it. Yeah.
And so I guess what I'm really sensing there is, yes, you did your research, but definitely learnt a lot more along the way.
Yeah, definitely did. But I suppose, you can do all the due diligence in the world sometimes, but you're only going to know if something works by the time you jump in the deep ends, and that's when you start sorting things out. You can go, get costs on this and that, but yeah, you're only going to know once you jump in the deep end and have a go yourself.
And that is absolutely true.
Yeah.
My next question is, and for most people don't know, before you entered into this business here, you had a hire equipment business.
Yep.
And it's obviously very different to what you're in now.
Yep.
But what I really want to know and hone in is, what lessons have you learned and brought over from that previous business and then adopted into this current business?
Yeah, well, I suppose they're both two very different beasts, retail and general hire. But some things that, they do have in common is, customer service. That has to be really driven. Attention to detail. We've got to make sure when we sell something online that, it's delivered in a timely fashion, like, equipment rental. People need equipment on site quite soon. It's about having the stock variety for your customers as well, making sure that you have absolutely everything. That's also very important. So, anything that we didn't have, we'd make a record of that, and we'd make sure that we'd get it on the shelf for the customers. We wanted to be the one-stop shop. We had to be that in general hire. because builders need a lot of tools, and in the pet industry too, you know, it's always evolving. There's a lot of different products that you need for pets, probably more than you're aware of. So yeah, having stock weight and availability was also very important. In both industries.
And I think what I like is that, you know, you definitely will well equipped to understand the principles of business before you enter this one. So I think that would have definitely given you a bit of more of a fighting chance in the early stages of starting the business up.
Yeah.
I want to steer our conversation about your current business model. So you have a traditional bricks and mortar retail business.
Yep.
And you also have an e-commerce platform. And on the surface, they are two very different business models. What aspects of the online business are similar, or if not the same, of the traditional business model, like the retail bricks and mortar?
Yeah, there's not a lot. To be honest, there are. They are two very different beasts online and also your in store. When you're selling something online, it's very price driven, especially if you're trying to sell something the same as someone else. All it comes down to is price and how quickly you can get it to the customer. So whereas people shopping in store, they're there, it's more based on convenience. Perhaps they want to try things on as well. So there's not too many similarities really. So that's why we have split it and moved away from being online to more bricks and mortar.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that, because I don't think a lot of people at home would actually know that, you know, that is the case. And I think I know when I've gone online shopping that 100%, it's, you know, you're comparing one unit to another unit, the same, it's all about the price.
It's all about the price and how quickly you can get it, really. That's it. You know, I've been in this sort of long enough to understand that, and that's why we have moved away from online a bit more into bricks and mortar. When you are selling online, there are a lot of big fish out there now, like your Amazons and so forth, just looking for market share. So they are really looking to move stock at whatever price just to gain some market share. So if a small retailer like myself tries to compete with them, I'm just no chance. We go broke. We don't have the buying power, and we don't have the shipping network to compete with that.
So according to the ABS, in the 2021 financial year, 87,800 new businesses started, and that was an increase of 3.8% from the previous year. However, there was an exit rate of 12%, or approximately 277,000 businesses in the same period. As a successful business owner, not once but twice, what advice would you pass on to an entrepreneur wanting to start up their new business?
Yeah, do your due diligence. Do the basic stuff. Talk to your accountant. Listen to your accountant as well. You know, if you're looking to get involved into a business that you've never been involved in before, go work in that field. Go work in that industry for a while. You know, even if it's just doing the most basic stuff. You know, that's my best advice. Roll your sleeves up and go get involved before you invest.
Oh, I love that. I love that you can basically say that invest your time and do your research, and I think, you know, planning.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I remember before I got involved in this industry, I just thought, well, you know, I've come from general hire. I was rental company of the year in 2009. You know, I'm pretty good. You know, this will be easy, just selling pet stuff online. You know, how hard is it? People love their pets, whatever. You just go get a whole bunch of pet stuff from the wholesaler and you sell it. I remember someone saying to me, maybe you should just go work at Pet Barners or Petstock as a retail assistant for a while, you know? And I was just like, no, that's way below me. Like, I'd never do that, you know? But in hindsight, I'm like, absolutely, I should have done that. I should have literally just gone and worked on the floor for a while just to learn the basics, you know, just to accelerate the startup process for me and make it a little bit smoother. Yeah,
great tip. Dan, I'm sure this business is not one that's been ventured alone. What key people have been along in the journey with you to help you create such a successful business?
No one I knew had really been in the pet business before. I'd say the only person or thing that's been able to help me in the whole startup process was my dog. You know, like, you take home some new stock or some food and whatever, and it was kind of like, oh, if he enjoys it, then, you know, I'm going to stock this, I'm going to do that. But no, I probably should have I shouldn't have gone it alone so much in the early days. I should have listened to my accountant and I suppose, you know, sought out his advice, because it was very hard to get going. Like it's taken quite a number of years to get this business in the black, to actually pay myself a consistent wage as well. So yeah, I didn't really have too much of a shoulder to cry on during the hard times, unfortunately. And that's something I'd suggest to people that are starting up and they do find it hard to, yeah, talk to your accountant, you know, talk to other professionals, you know, when things get hard. Don't go out there and maybe just borrow more money or do something like that when things are getting tight. You know, if you've been in it for a few years and things still aren't working, then, you know, talk to people, get some help, you know, don't go it alone.
Yeah, and that's really key advice, and I don't think that's what we see enough of, unfortunately, out there.
Yeah. Exactly right. I mean, there's so many ads on the radio these days for quick biz finance and so forth like that, and perhaps some of these people that, you know, are getting this type of capital at high interest rates, you know, probably shouldn't be getting themselves in that position in the first place, you know, and you know, maybe in a chat with their accountant or someone else or a more experienced peer could help them in those times. Yeah.
Well, Dan, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate you, you know, interviewing and sharing so much knowledge about iPetStore and your business journey. Everything you've shared with us today has been really, you know, great for our audience, and I hope that, you know, anyone watching this can actually take something away from it.
Yep.
What we're going to do is we'll of course leave your links and details about iPetStore.
Yep.
And see, you know, so people can reach out and come in store and visit you.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you.
All right. If you want to continue to watch our videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe bell, like the video, and be sure to get all our awesome content. I'm Nathan Rigney, the Profit Generator, and we look forward to seeing you next time.